The 2015 Polyglot Gathering is brought to you by italki. Become fluent in any language.
How are you doing? The last lecture of the day, what is your level of energy now? Yeah. Today's conversation is about habits, and one of my favorite habits of the day is at least once a day I need to have a proper belly laugh. You know, because a laugh is not a laugh, decent laugh, when you don't use your belly. Like you have to start laughing from your belly, actually. Can you try now? This is a proper laugh, and this is a very healthy habit. Now, people that you admire in your life, how many people do you admire? Do you have mentors? Do you have people who inspire you? Richard Simcoe is one of them for all of us, but other people in different life zones. Do you have people that you admire? I have a lot of them. And most of them, if not all, have just one element in common. And it doesn't matter if they are like the Mozart type. Mozart had one passion for his whole life, music. From the age of 3, he started playing piano. And music, piano, classical music was his life. Now, there is a second group of people who cannot do just one thing. Yeah, I call these people, and I include myself in this group, the Renaissance soul. One of the famous members of this group is Benjamin Franklin, who was doing a lot of things, and he was very successful at most of them, anyway. So, if you're not the type that, I don't know, languages is everything for you, don't worry. If you switch between your different passions, different interests, congratulations, you're just like me. And actually it doesn't matter, because there's one element in common that decides about final success when it comes to having a great skill, having achievement, having success, having fulfillment. And this key element is consistency. Consistency. Since you are here at the Polyglot Gathering, as opposed to Monoglot Gathering, which is our idea for next year, by the way. We'll have to organize it at the stadium, and we'll have the lectures of how to never learn a new language again. How to forget all of your languages that you've learned so far. How to burn your language learning books effectively. It's going to be an innovation on the market. And those of you who speak the most languages will be the biggest losers. Consistency, that one secret element. And since you are here, you probably maybe not have mastered. I haven't mastered consistency at all. But you are at a pretty good level of consistency. But consistency is not that obvious, because it may come from two different sources, two different types of activities. First is the willpower, the act of self-discipline. When you consciously decided, okay, I do this. When you are motivated to do something, okay, I do this. You need the willpower. And the willpower is like a muscle. Who of you goes to the gym? Who of you has seen the gym? Cool. So we have the whole audience now. At the gym, when you start lifting, there is one moment when you cannot lift anymore. You cannot do any repetition more, because your muscle goes to the point of failure. It cannot stress any single time more. It's not possible. And it's the same with our willpower. When you're tired, when you're stressed at the end of the day, and you're trying to do something that you have planned, like, I don't know, I will go running, I will learn a language, I will talk kindly to my partner. Very often it doesn't work. Why? Because your muscle is exhausted. Your muscle has reached the point of failure before. Now, who of you has the Facebook account? Who doesn't have Facebook account? But you know what Facebook is. The founder of Facebook, the CEO of Facebook, what's his name? Exactly. He wears grey t-shirt every single day. Why? He cannot afford, yes, you're right. He cannot afford any other clothes.
He doesn't want to pay attention on dressing.
Absolutely. He's so focused on his mission in his company that he doesn't want to lose even an ounce of energy in the morning to decide on what to wear. Because he just wants to serve people through making Facebook better and better and better. So that was his conscious decision some time ago. Great t-shirt every single day. I don't need anything else to wear. I'm rich. Made this decision once, and he's saving some amount of energy, some amount of willpower every single day to use it somewhere else. And now, today's conversation is about habits as an alternative to the willpower. Actually, it's not an alternative, it's a complementary thing. Because habits are, what are habits, in your opinion, as opposed to willpower? What is a habit? It's something that priests wear, right? It's a habit, too. But this is not the one we are interested in today. What is a habit? How would you define habits? It has 4 elements.
Repetition.
Automatic, yes, it's automatic. What else?
Unconsciously.
It happens unconsciously, meaning you don't have to think about it. It happens every time when the trigger happens. So you don't have to think about this habit. You don't have to remember about that habit. It activates automatically. So you are saving mental process. You're saving your memory. And the third element is that you only realize that you do something when you already do it, when it's too late. Have you ever had a situation when you were smoking and you realized, oh, I'm smoking? Just the process of starting a cigarette or taking a cigarette from someone. How many smokers do we have, by the way? No one wants to admit now. Okay, let's take another example. You're going through grammar book, and after 3 hours you realize you do it. Any freaks like this here? Yeah, we got one. Fantastic. So this is a habit, automatic reaction when there is a trigger. Why do we need habits? We've mentioned already the first element of this, saving willpower, really important, because willpower is there to be used in more advanced stuff, in more creative activities, in something that is hard in life. We need more power, more strength to do it. Why else we need habits? To save energy, yes, to make the life easier, basically. So that you don't have to think about stuff over and over again. You don't have to worry about it. Have you heard the story of Michael Phelps, who, well, he broke the world record many, many times. But once it happened that when he jumped into the water, and he had these, how do you call these glasses for swimmers?
Goggles.
Exactly. And the water came in. The water came in inside, and from the very beginning of that competition, he couldn't see a thing. He couldn't see anything. Now, how would you react normally? You would panic, you would stop, you would give up, you would start thinking, you would start analyzing. What did Michael Phelps do? Started crying. It's good that it was in the swimming pool, so nobody has noticed.
He continued to do what he was doing.
Down to the destruction.
In fact, he did nothing. He did nothing different than normally at the training. Because his movements, his strokes, were practiced thousands of times every single day, so many times that his body remembered every single move. How many strokes between he reaches the place where he turns around? And not seeing anything, he was just able to trust his habit, to let go of his overthinking mind, just swim, and he broke the world record. So this is what might happen with habits, with good habits, when you have something practiced so many times. Who of you wants to be world class at something at some point in the future? Come on, come on, guys. Yeah. Who else? Who else? I'm gonna walk there. Who else? Alberto. I know you do it. World class. Not even to compete with other people, but to feel that you're a really fulfilled person. Like, have really high level at something. Do you know Stephen King, the writer? Stephen King, very famous writer, best-selling world-class writer. Now, how do you become Stephen King? You don't. There is only one Stephen King. But how did Stephen King become Stephen King?
Right.
Yes, parents. His parents. But what I mean is, please stop laughing. Be serious. We have. It's a serious conference, guys. You're supposed to be tired at this time. What is his morning ritual, morning routine? Stephen King. Anybody knows? He probably writes, right? He probably writes. Writes a book every day. Not really, not that much. But he has this minimum amount of words that he has to write. 2,500 words every single morning. Before he goes to anything else. 2,500 words every single morning. And only a fraction of it goes to his final version of the book. But this habit of writing daily, mastering that skill to the highest possible level, mastery and art of words, combining them, thinking about the stories that people have the goosebumps later when they read it, or when they watch a movie based on his book. One ritual, one habit that made him who he is today. Anybody interested in this kind of level? If you feel the calling to something, it's a place to work on the habits. So we've got a big why. Now we move to how. What is the structure of every single habit that we have? So these automatic reactions, what is the structure of it? When we analyze, when we take something and we analyze.
Figure.
Yes. To simplify the process, let's call it 3 R's. 3 R's. So we have a reminder. Let's call the trigger a reminder. First R, reminder. What can be a reminder for you, or for your subconscious mind rather, to start a behavior? Reminder. What can it be? Give me 5 examples.
Alarm clock.
Alarm clock, fantastic. You can set different alarm clocks for different activities.
Going to bed.
Going to bed with whom? Oh, anybody. We're not going to expand on that. Another reminder. Feeling bored, yeah, a feeling can be a reminder, absolutely.
Picture.
A picture of somebody, or something.
Feeling hungry.
Feeling hungry,
Placing an object in a certain location.
absolutely.
Berlin.
Berlin can be a reminder.
Music.
Music, a specific song, can be a reminder. Is there anything that cannot be a reminder? Almost everything. So there is a huge list. And if you analyze your day, you like half of your activities are habitual anyway, already, right now. So you have a reminder and you do something, or you think something, or you feel a certain way. So you don't have to invent new triggers, new reminders. Just scan your day and see, what do you do every single day without failure? Already. So you get up, you take a shower, if you take a shower. If you do it once a month, then it's not a good reminder. You brush your teeth, you eat a lunch, you go out. Scan your day and make a list of the things that you do already without failure. Now, if you're taking notes now, just write down this. What I do already without failure. And then for the next days you can just mentally scan your day and make a list. Now it's not only what you do, but also what happens to you. So it doesn't depend on you, but happens to you on a regular basis. For example, you get a text. You get a Facebook notification. You stop at a traffic light. Someone calls you. Someone calls you a loser. You hit him back. That's your habit. So that's the reminder, and it reminds our subconscious mind to react in a certain way. So we have the routine behavior, or a thought. Because we not only have behavioral habits, but also mental habits. Last year at this gathering, there was one guy who really impressed me with his mental habits that he had. I don't mean he was crazy. He was crazy in a good way. I still remember that example. Because the conversation was about approaching foreigners without fear. And his metaphor in his mind was like, when I see a foreigner approaching me, I see a gift waiting for me to be unwrapped. Wow! Wow! For me, that was the most powerful element of that gathering that I use in my life now. Just waiting for me to be unwrapped. It's so beautiful, don't you think? How do you react when you see a foreigner in the language you're learning? You know you're learning his language, her language. How do you react so far? Run towards her or away from her? The other side. So action or a thought? Now, what are the habits that you are proud of right now? Give me 3 examples of habits that you are proud of right now.
I ride a bicycle at least 30 minutes a day, every single day.
Clap. What is your reminder?
It's just a daily discipline on my list.
Is it some kind of thought of, oh, I'm gonna feel great when I go biking?
It's about feeling good about myself and have more energy.
How do you feel afterwards?
I feel very, very well. I am satisfied
Mm-hmm.
and my self-esteem goes up.
What happens from a scientific point of view as the third R? Third R is reward. You get rewarded in some way. And the key word here is dopamine. Dopamine. That's the key word here when we have the rewards. What kind of rewards should we use to make our habits sustainable, but at the same time they shouldn't destroy other things in our lives? Because let's say you want to introduce a habit of, when I wake up, I immediately go to the kitchen, I take a glass of water with a bit of lemon, I drink it, and then as a reward I eat a bar of chocolate. You will probably create a habit, it will be really strong, but the reward will have some side effects. So, the reward should be something, first of all, pleasant, relaxing, and no side effects. Pleasant, relaxing, no side effects, if that's possible. A few examples. You already told us satisfaction. My self-esteem is growing. I feel I have more energy. Yesterday we went on a training outdoors in the park. We were training for half an hour. How did you feel at the end?
Good, man.
Oh yeah, like the young god. What rewards do you use? Do you reward yourself? That's a good question. Do you reward yourself? Do you buy yourself flowers? Yeah?
I read the grammar book as a reward.
That's unique. That's unique because I wouldn't associate grammar book with dopamine. But if it works, that's fantastic. That's phenomenal. But something that gives you dopamine, little rewards that you use. Any examples?
Music.
Music, yeah, fantastic.
Sometimes rewards happen automatically through your body. I mean, if you do exercise, you don't need to think of the reward comes automatically.
Absolutely. What's more, after some time you don't need any kind of reward. Because activity in itself can be a reward already. It's important in the beginning, when you start with a new habit, so that you really give yourself the message, you really give yourself a reward, and showing yourself that you're really doing a good job. So how to form habits, or how to replace the habits rather, because when you have the list of the things that you do every day, and the list of the things that happen to you every day, you already have some routines that exist so far. Some of you may be proud of them, some of you may be ashamed of them. I'm ashamed of a few of my habits.
For example?
We will cover that in Q&A session. After midnight.
You need that.
With anybody.
I keep going.
So maybe it's time to update the habits, because habits that you have so far, you probably haven't worked on them very consciously. So they are the results of previous experiences and your environment. You just take them, they just happen. You don't think about them consciously, right? Like last year I was explaining one model on the hand, like 5 elements of one model, and when I showed the middle finger to somebody, as an element of educational process, when I show the middle finger, you suddenly have a feeling of something wrong is going on. He's offending me, right? So it's a habit. It's a mental habit. You have a trigger, you have a reminder. I'm not going to point today because I like you. And you have a reaction. You have emotional reaction and your interpretation. So you have habits anyway. But maybe it's time to update some of them. It's time to think consciously, how do I want to spend my day? Because these are mostly things that you do daily. These daily, very little steps. Like you have a big bucket, there is the drop of water every single day. You think you cannot see it, but after some time you realize, whoa, it's full now. After 3 months you realize, whoa, I'm communicating Chinese. After 3 years you realize, whoa, I am a polyglot. After next 3 years you realize, oh, I am a monoglot again, I forgot. Where should we start when we want new habits in our lives? What is the starting point if you want sustainable habits, something that will stay with you forever or for a very long time? Where should we start?
Big reason why.
Absolutely. I would even call it the level of identity as opposed to level of only performance or appearance. Like someone starts exercising just to look better for some time, They don't care about consistency of training, but just the result. I just want the results. And when they achieve it, they give it up. Right? Level of identity is so powerful because it's easy to maintain the habits. So instead of saying, I want to go to the training 3 times a week, start with something like, I want to be a person, or I am a person who never misses trainings. Much more powerful, right? I am the kind of person who studies languages every day. Or maybe better, who learns languages every day, right? I am the kind of person. Write this down and explore for the next few days or so. I am the person who. I am the person who. Starting from identity level. When you go to Amazon.com, it's amazing. Yeah, Amazon. Amazing Amazon. and you write down 21, you have a lot of books saying 21. And this is a big misunderstanding of how much time does it take to let the Skype get in. No, how much time does it take to form a sustainable habits? There is a misunderstanding that it's just 21 days. It's not based on science. What science says about habits is, what is the answer?
2 months.
90
Any guesses?
90 days.
It depends. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Actually, no, the science knows. They were researching, they were experimenting, and everything from 18 days to 240 days. And why is there such a big distinction? Why? What do you think? Why? Some habits just 18 days, some habits almost 8 months. 8 months! It depends on the person. Why?
It depends on the reasons why you should continue.
Also on the reasons.
The stakes. So if someone is like, if you don't change your eating habits, you'll have a heart attack. Then that's like a very strong reason.
It depends on the heart attack, yeah.
So like the stakes. So if I fail, what happens? Right?
Absolutely.
Some things can interrupt the habits from forming.
Yes. Now the average, and some people also took that average and they say this is the amount, this is the right amount, and they sell the products and the books saying it's 66 days. 66 days. This is the average, but it's not like always true. This is the average. Like, how many elements can influence like forming habits and this amount of time? First of all, your previous experiences. If you have similar habits, if you as a person, because you as a person are a system, you are a system. We're full of different habits, rituals, behaviors, history. And if you want to introduce a new habit, it can be either easy when your system is not against it, or it can be hard because the new habit is a big change. Like, for me, going for a run of 5-10 kilometers a day is that easy. But it's not because I was predetermined to do it, but because I love exercise. But for a couch potato, who of you is couch potato? You know this expression? The gentleman in the back, give him a round of applause. Got one. If you're a couch potato, so you sit in front of TV, you eat junk food and stuff, and that person is supposed to start running 5 kilometers every day. It's a big change. It's a huge change. So that's why it may take many months. But don't worry, because there are elements who can support you. what can help you form sustainable habits faster, and what can help you that they are stronger? What can help you? And now, listen here, because this is scientific. It's scientific. Faith that you can do it. I'm not joking. Just the belief that you can do it. And it should come from your previous experiences, from your small successes from the past, or from success of somebody else. So from inspiration. That's why we love we love watching inspirational videos or listening to inspirational people, because they give us that faith that it's possible for me too, right? If someone smokes and wants to give up smoking, or they say, oh, it will be difficult for me anyway, I think I'll never do it, and they try to give up smoking, usually it doesn't work just because of that element. And it's scientific. It's not my invention, it's science. What else can help? Now this is also very interesting. It's called double thinking, as opposed to positive thinking. And you mentioned the obstacles that can appear in the process. Of course, many obstacles can appear in the process. That's why double thinking is so powerful. What is double thinking? First element, the vision of your success. So you will do it. The second element is obstacles that you will face. From the very beginning, you are planning that there will be obstacles. And this is so powerful because you are ready for it. And you can prepare for the obstacles. So, it's much more effective than just positive thinking because it's realistic and obstacles do happen. They do happen. Someone wants to give up smoking, want to smoke, you go in a social situation, social occasion, social circle, someone offers you a cigarette, you start smoking, and then you realize, I wasn't supposed to smoke, but it's happening, right? Too late. What else can support you in forming habits? Environment, yes. So, now I want to give you a little acronym, because there are 4 other elements that can really help you. The acronym is the Spanish word for table, mesa. Mesa. So the first is measure. Measuring your progress really helps, really supports your struggle with new habits. Measuring your progress. Now, how can you do it? Alex, do you remember, because we have the mastermind session every week, I was showing you my paper that I have on the wall with the X. This is something called the Don't Break the Chain calendar. Don't break the chain calendar. So you take a piece of paper, you created it for 1 week or for 1 month, and every time you do, you do this.
Cross it off the list.
You cross it, and you see it's done. And now it was very effective for me when I started doing this, because in my flat there are usually people coming at least 3 times a week. And when at the end of the day it wasn't crossed, I was thinking, tomorrow someone is coming to visit me, and they're gonna see I missed the training. And that was enough for me, enough motivation to continue, not to break the calendar. And I created it big, so it was really big. No one could not notice that it's empty. Big X every day. I was working on 7 habits at that time. Yeah, okay. So don't break the chain calendar is one option. Now here's an amazing story I've read some time ago. I just look for the name of this guy, Trent Dersmith. You don't know him probably, but what happened is incredible. The guy was at the age 23. He just started working as a broker, but he didn't have any previous experience in this area, and he didn't have education in this area. He didn't have any friends in this area. But he made just one decision, that every day he's going to do the same ritual, the same routine. What was it? Any guesses? He took, yeah?
Ask a mentor for advice, or somebody reach out to somebody who would be able to give him some kind of advice.
Even not this. It helps a lot. We'll come to environment soon. But it's even not this. He took 2 empty jars. And in one jar, he put 120 paper clips. You know paper clips? Something you can put a paper together. And for every call that he made, every call to a potential client, he put 1 paper clip to another jar. So with every call, he took 1 paper clip and put it to another jar. And his decision was that every day, his task, his job to do is only put all the paper clips to the second jar. That's it. 120 calls every single day without breaking the chain. What happened within 6 months? 6 months from scratch, doing only this, he started earning 6-figure. Ta-da! Simple, power of habit. And also in this case, power of the visual cue. Right? So we have MESA, we have first element measure. It can be either don't break the chain calendar or paper clips. As simple as that. Can be done with candies, but it's dangerous because you can eat some. You cannot eat paper clips, so it's more preferable. So power of the visual cue that you get. Environment. I've heard a story of a guy who liked eating a lot of popcorn. So what he did was he went to his garage and he put the popcorn there on the highest shelf. He took the ladder and he put the popcorn on the highest shelf. So every time he wanted to eat popcorn in his living room, he was like, okay, where's the popcorn? Oh God. He would have to spend like 5 minutes, take the ladder, climb the ladder to get it. So it was so effective because the reaction was like, oh God, it's there. Okay. Never mind. I don't need this popcorn now. So creating your environment in the way that supports you, because if you want to stop eating chocolate and you have a chocolate in front of you, what is happening? You are using your willpower to resist the chocolate. You're using your willpower, so you're overusing it, so you don't have it for other things later on. Same story. How can you organize your environment in the way that would support language learning? What would change if suddenly your flatmates were polyglots? Hyper polyglots. Whoa! Monoglots. So environment. MESA. The third element is specific. When you are forming a habit, it has to be specific. Some people say it beautifully that soon is not time and some is not a number. So I'll start it soon. Doesn't work. It's not in the calendar. I'll do some push-ups. 2 is some already. I'll do some trainings this week. Doesn't work. So be very specific. Be very specific. So when I'm done with, you can form a habit like this. When I'm done with brushing my teeth, I immediately start reading for 30 minutes. This is specific. Actually, I have this habit that when I'm done with my morning coffee, actually I'm not done, I just prepare it and I have it. I open my Kindle reader and I start reading for 30 minutes. The books are prepared long before. I just need to open it and start reading. That's it. Coffee, reading. As simple as that. So we have specific, and the last element, MESA, is accountability. If you have anybody who can help you, who can support you in forming new habits, it's a big power. because some people can laugh at you, then you should join them, by the way, if they laugh at you. Because they will not be laughing at you, they will be laughing only with you. It changes a lot. But people who support you when it comes to accountability. So, for example, creating a mastermind group, something Claudio was talking about 1 year ago, speaking about focus. People who support you on your journey, and they ask you, did you do this? I remember, because we have mastermind with Alex and Ricardo, and I had my challenge of 1 week of asking for help, because I realized I ask for help very rarely. That was my weakness, my weak point. And on Monday, I get a message from Alex, it's your first day of asking for help challenge. How is it going? Accountability, right? Somebody helping you with it. Because if it's a new behavior, new habit, for your brain, it's something you want to avoid. That's why people around you are so important. Accountability. Let's move to language habits now. Before I start asking, we'll do a short brainstorming session, by the way, in the groups of 5, but in a little while. Let me remind you a story. No, you don't know this story. It's a secret story. But I asked Bartek yesterday, because it happened 6 months ago. Okay, so let's move 6 months ago. Can I tell it? With all the details? No, it was in the evening, because we were in Serbia, in Novi Sad, and after a long day. And Bartek, before he entered the bathroom, we were three guys in the room. Before he entered the bathroom, he said, "Guys, if you hear any strange sounds from the bathroom, please don't react." I said, "Oh God, I know what's gonna happen." But it wasn't that. Actually, it was something that I wasn't familiar with. Something I've never heard before. Something so unique that he got my curiosity. He got my curiosity then. And when he came back from the shower, he explained what it was. I'll finish that story after midnight. No, actually, he had a habit of every time he gets into the shower, he repeats out loud the last lesson from Armenian Asimil that he remembered by heart. Holy shit. That was so unique. I remember that so vividly. Armenian, something I've never heard before. Beautiful habit, beautiful habit. He gets into the shower, that's a reminder. He has his routine, and then he has a reward, us laughing at him. Now, my little habit that changes a lot because I have a lot of listening practice is every time I close the door of my flat, I leave my flat, so I close the door from the outside, I put my headphones on, and I just click. I have these headphones with the clicker. And there is already an audiobook in another language. So every, walking time, dead time, commuting time, this is called official commuting method. Every time of this dead time can be used for your listening practice with just this simple habit, because I don't think about it, I don't remember about it, it happens. I just leave my flat and already on my staircase I'm listening to Italian, French, German, anything that is inside. If I feel like I want to organize my day, be on time, I listen to German audiobook.
Yes.
If I feel like it's a relaxing day, emotional day, I go for Spanish or Italian. If I want to feel more elegant, I go for French. Very little habit. 1 week ago, I was working with the sales trainer from Poland, one of the top trainers, and I'm helping him with English. And I just introduced him to, well, I encouraged him to start using Twitter. He didn't have a Twitter account. And the first habit that we were introducing in his case was set up a Twitter account and publish a short sentence every single day. And he's doing it, and it's fantastic because every day he's doing something with English. He has some output practice, and after a week he's writing to me, "Whoa, I have this Twitter account, people are already responding, liking, some people are commenting, it's not grammatically correct, but I don't care because I have this practice." And he's experiencing authentic happiness doing it. Very little habit, every day something with the language. Super easy to remember. I have this habit that whenever I get bored with a language, I just trying to change my emotions, like, you know, when instead of asking Entschuldigung, I just change the vocal variety. I ask like Entschuldigung. It changes my emotion very quickly, and I just start expanding in this direction with a completely different energy. So now it's time. I hope you have something to write. We will divide ourselves into groups of 5. I will give you 4 minutes for intensive, focused brainstorming session. I would like to hear your language habits. What I'm gonna do, I will collect all of these papers in the end. I will create a common doc, common file. I will share it with everybody from this conference so that we can learn from each other. We can start to emulate our habits so we can optimize our language learning experience, language teaching experience, fluency, anything related to languages.
One list per group or 5?
One person
Describe.
is the scribe, but 5 people in the group. Very intensive brainstorming session. Then I will collect everything. 4 minutes from now. Go!
Paper?
So I do flashcards. Yeah. Did I make a YouTube channel? Maybe. I do easy
Three minutes left.
So actually, what would you describe your habit?
Oh, you're the grammar book guy, right? You love grammar books. I've never opened one before. No. It's just so scary. 3
1 minute left. Thirty seconds. Five, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. You can come back to your seats. Yeah, for hard work, hard focus work. By the way, if you have only 4 or 5 ideas, this is not brainstorming. Brainstorming starts over 5. But since your time was very limited, I will accept even if you have only 5 options. Now we are out of time, so those of you who have these pieces of paper, please come to me in a second. I don't think we have time for a Q&A session.
After midnight.
You can find me after midnight somewhere in Berlin.
With someone.
To wrap it up very quickly, remember why you do something. Start with identity level. So what kind of a person do I want to be? Then realize how habits actually work. So this RRR structure. Also create the, yes, reminder, routine, reward. Reminder, routine, reward. Remember about MESA, measuring, environment, specific, and accountability. Also, try to create the keystone habits. Keystone habits are the habits that ripple everything else in your lives. For example, for me, one of the keystone habits is exercise.
You mentioned in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I didn't want to. But he said he felt really confident he wanted to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then optimize, optimize, optimize. And be like the Michelangelo who, at the age of 87, said, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Thank you very much.